Joe, we've reached another international break. Is it a good point in the season for a break, let the players recharge, and obviously heading into a real busy period when you come back?
Yeah, I think it's really important. You know, you can look at it two ways. We're in a good run of form. We're full of confidence, and people might say it might come at a bad time for us, but I think we need to make sure we're taking every break as well as we can, because you know it's been an emotional few weeks. We've been on a real high, and I think emotionally and physically it can really take it out of the players. So you know, they've worked extremely hard. We've put some really good performances in, and yeah, I think we're well due a break.
Yeah, and what does that sort of international break look like for the players that remain? Obviously good to see some go away with their countries as well, get more game time.
Yeah, I think it's important that we get that balance right. I try to give the players as much time off as possible when we can, because you know, we don't get any time off within season. We've played every single weekend, which is what we want to do. We're not complaining about it, but when we've got the opportunity to take a few days off, we definitely will. The players are in for the bulk of this week, and they'll have a long weekend off at the weekend. So they get a good few days off. I've just said to them, make sure they go home, get away from each other, and really rest and take up the time to recharge with their families and their loved ones, and come back in ready to go and fight again.
Yeah, just looking at that last block of games in March, there was 3 league fixtures, a Scottish Cup match, Sky Sports Cup final. Start with the league fixtures. It was a draw with Hearts to begin the month, and then you also had the brilliant result against Motherwell. Just looking at their 2 games first and foremost, how would you reflect back on those?
Yeah, it's so different. You know, the draw against Hearts, we spoke about it a few times. It was kind of our springboard really, because we knew that we didn't play well. We knew that Hearts played extremely well that day. We can't take anything away from them. They executed their game plan very, very well. And you know, they punished us in certain areas where we just didn't quite get it right. It gives us a chance to look at it, rectify a few problems. We're really focused in on a lot of the small details. Really focused in training, really pushed in certain areas, and we were keen to turn it around. We knew we needed to. You can't slip up too many times in this league if you want to be in with a chance to, you know, be there and thereabouts at the end of the season. So we needed to make sure we bounced back quickly, and we really put that right and had a very good performance against Motherwell. You know, Motherwell are no easy team to play against. We know what they're about, and we know that they can disrupt, and the longer they stay in games, they can really build in confidence from it. So it was important for us to get a good, strong start against them and building confidence from there, and that's what we've continued to do.
Yeah, between those 2 league games, there was obviously the Spartan Scottish Cup quarter-final, another game you had to work hard on, but now a Scottish Cup semi-final to look forward to this month too.
Yeah, you know, we're bouncing from one competition to another, and it's good to keep, you know, your eye focused on different things and keep you in the moment, not looking too far ahead. It's crazy to think that we were in a quarter-final straight into 2 weeks later into a final, but it's really good for us to keep focused, keep on track, and you know, keep ahead on what we want to achieve. And we want to be in semi-finals, we want to be in finals, and we've achieved our first goal of winning the first cup, which is a big tick for us. So we need to make sure that we're fully focused, and the players have been brilliant at that, and I think they've showed that in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, we can't look back on March. You mentioned it, winning the Sky Sports Cup final once again 3 times in a row, just a special day for the club.
Yeah, I think, you know, we'll never get tired of saying that. To win it 3 times in a row is unbelievable achievement, and the players deserve that. They deserved exactly what they got on the day. The work that they put in, the effort that they put in, not just physically but mentally. They executed a game plan perfectly. And yeah, that's another day that'll live with us till the next one.
Yeah, and the last game of the month, obviously, seeing the opportunity to play at Ibrox once again, just how special was that, and getting the chance to play there for the 2nd time this season?
Oh, I think you could see on the day, you know, it's a beautiful day, that the players love turning up to Ibrox. We've got a lot of Rangers fans in the building, and it means so much for us to be able to turn up and play. You know, again, I think there probably was a little bit of pressure on us turning up the week after a cup final, seeing how we can lift and go again and push. It's so difficult to not stay in a rut emotionally when you've just come off the back of a huge win. So I think it was important for us to have that performance. Again, we worked super hard that week. We changed our attention very quickly to Hearts, because we knew how they punished us last time, and how well they can play if you allow them to. So you know, again, tactically the players got it spot on, they executed it, and we had another very good day at Ibrox.
Yeah, and this block of fixtures is seeing yourself work alongside a new assistant. Yeah. Andy Thompson was brought in. What's his sort of impact been in these games? What's he been like since he came in the door? Yeah,
he's kind of come in and it's been seamless. You know, it was a big loss for us to lose Jay at the point in the season that we did, and it was always going to be a kind of a period of settling in and finding somebody right. We wanted to make sure we got the right person in. It was a difficult person to replace and a position to fill. We knew we needed to get it right. And Andy just fit that mould perfectly. You know, he knows the league, he knows the players. He's got a vast amount of experience with international players. You know, and he's come in and his attitude's been brilliant. You know, he's found his feet. You can see him being more himself week in, week out. And you know, he's just helping us enormously in the areas that we definitely need it. And you can see the three of us have got a really good way of working, and you can see that on the sideline, you can see that in the training pitch, and yeah, it's working really well up to now.
Yeah, and just on the injury front, Mia McCauley obviously missed a couple of games. She was back in the squad at the weekend. Is this a sort of period for her to get good training minutes and then hopefully be involved? And then obviously the likes of Liv, Laura Rafferty weren't involved at the weekend. Can you just give an update on them?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was good for us to get Mia back when we did get her back. It's, you know, she's been missing since the last international break, and at that moment in time, you know, she was a player that was really in form, scoring a lot of goals, assisting a lot of goals, playing really well. So it was a big loss for us for her to go away on international and come back injured. So, you know, I think we just showed how much our squad matters. You know, people stepping in and upping their performances, and you know, we did miss her, but she's come back at a really good time for us because we need all of our players fighting fit. So yeah, she'll be back in now, a good couple of weeks training through international, and hopefully ready to go again for the rest of the season. Just on to Liv, you know, she's had a little niggle for the last few weeks that we were trying to manage to try and get her through to see if it could settle down. Not been able to train fully, and then yeah, she just pulled up for the weekend, and we didn't want to take any risks with it. We need everybody available, hoping she will be available again off the back of the international break with a good couple of weeks of rehab. So we're more hopeful with Liv that she'll be available, ready for the immediate games after international break. Raf, it's just been an ongoing thing really. We kind of weren't sure kind of where the issue was coming from, but we're waiting on MRI results now, so we'll know a little bit more about Raf towards the end of the week.
Just lastly, obviously we've got the break, but you come into such a massive period in the season. It's such a big 3-game week. All the weeks are big, but just how much you're looking forward to this run in now? Yeah,
well, this week's huge. You know, I don't think you could get any tougher than Celtic, City and Hibs. It's the teams that are around us. So, you know, the Celtic games are always special games anyway because it's your immediate rivals. So it's tough when you look to come off the back of international break straight into that one, but we're in a good place mentally. We need to make sure that we're using our confidence and our levels and what we've learned along the way and what we can do going into those 3 games. If we keep our squad fit, we've got a really healthy squad to fight in all of those 3 games. And yeah, it is what it is. We've got to make sure that we're planning well for it, which we are. We've been doing that for a few weeks now. So yeah, we've got to make sure we're prepared, and I'm sure we will be, and get the players back from international break and ready to go.